But the people that resonate with, they want to have a good work-life blend. They want to be there for their children. They don't want to make the mistakes I made. They resonate with what I'm saying. So that's a lifelong learning. So that's my why, my cause, my purpose. Hopefully that makes sense to you, Sebastian.
Prio Ich and Du, der Umsetzungspodcast, Episode 2, prior to me and you, the Get Shit Done podcast with Dan O Donoghue, Episode 2. Do you want to know Dan a little bit more? Please take a look on the last episode. He shared a little bit about his walks on the beach, nearby the beach in South Ireland, and why he is the nearest South Ireland guy, nearest Manhattan. You will find out this answer there. So, Dan, nice to have you again here. I want to jump in a little bit more in this connection stuff because it is so relevant what we also know about our clients, for example, in incentive or also in other consulting things. It starts with why, not only why by Simon Sinek. We speak about the emotionally charging connection and incentive. So you shared a little bit why you do what you do, but maybe we can also jump a little bit and what is the recommendation also for the next generations? Because you said, hey, we need more this instead of take a look on the screen. So emotionally charging connection. So Dan, what is your ECC?
Yeah, well, first of all, when I started learning the incentive material, I had never heard of an emotionally charged connection. I had never heard of Simon Sinek, but when I heard his first TED talk, as everybody has, it really, really resonated with me. But then I took action on it, and it's a point that I want to get across to your listeners. About 90% of people that I have found that listened to that very same Simon Sinek podcast about your why, start with why, right? 90% have never implemented what he's talking about. They all said, yeah, it's a great idea. Yeah, talking about your why, what your cause, what your purpose. But only 10% actually did something about it. And I found that I was working at that time, I had been working self-employed for maybe 30, 35 years, right? Maybe more. And I could never get across exactly what I was doing, why I was doing it, and the importance of recognizing my cause and my purpose. And I see businesses, especially the younger generation, starting their own business. And I have found that if you ask them, okay, why are you starting business? Oh, I think I can make a lot of money doing this. And I will challenge them on that. Is there a real cause and is there a real purpose behind your business and what you're bringing to the table? I found that I saw people going out trying to sell their products or services, and they always got pushback. I found that I was born on an island on the southwest coast of Ireland. Our parents were farmers, where we all helped each other. Because it was an island, it was a community where you had to help each other. But we never sold to each other. And also, I noticed my dad, he produced beef and milk. And I always tell this story that the norm was that you produced your beef and then you take those live animals to what they call a mart, where you sell your produce. So you sell your livestock to the buyers. He never did that. He was never in a mart in his life. So what did he do? He worked so well on producing the best beef he could possibly produce. And he had a cause and a purpose. He wanted to have the best beef in the locality. And he attracted the buyers that were looking for that high quality beef. And when I think of it today, I don't go out and try and sell my incentive business, my consultancy business. I really work hard on having the best service I can to my clients. And I attract people as opposed to go and sell. And then my cause, then what I really want to do is the fact that I've been working 40 years, nearly 80 hours a week for the greater part of that. I do not want young people with young families going through the same thing that I went through. And I genuinely mean that I want to give them the gift of hindsight.
Mm.
And that is my why, that is my cause, and that is my purpose. Now, that will not resonate with everybody. And I have to realize that. I have two types of clients out there. People will respond to me always if they don't like selling, this word selling. If they don't like that and they find that, no, we got to get a better way, they will resonate with what I'm saying. But there's the other sector that going, for God's my why, my cause, I just got to get out and talk to people and just sell them something. Just keep selling. That will never work for them because they will have loads of business, no business, loads of business, no business. There's no consistency because they're not attracting the right type of client. And I also found that working with that second cohort, the people that are, I don't want to know about my why or my cause or my purpose. I just need to get out and sell. They are never my target market because they won't listen. But the people that resonate with, they want to have a good work-life blend. They want to be there for their children. They don't want to make the mistakes I made. They resonate with what I'm saying. So that's a lifelong learning. So that's my why, my cause, my purpose. Hopefully that makes sense to you, Sebastian.
Fully. I love when you remind me again on not only this year, also last year in Switzerland, and you were on the stage in front of us and you share such stories that is, I love it. So because you create pictures in my head, I'm able to remind on myself. And of course, that is not disrespectful. You can be my dad, yes. And I really appreciate that. To know you and the stories behind and so on. And it is similar, your parents like mine, because I raised up in the GDR, the East Germany, yeah. And there was also, we have to take a look on each other, and there was some business, sharing business under the radar, and I remind me very well when my dad and my mom get an old house. It was very old, or is very old, and you have to take a look where you can got the building materials. And then our neighbor came and said, "Hey, there's a secret. In the next village, they have some stones. Let us drive there." So, and all the people jumping in the car, and you got more or less 5 stones for the next step. And that is sometimes what we learned is one time is to improvise a little bit. And on the second hand, to have patience to the next goal or to next step, and discipline and consistency. Because when you ordered a car in East Germany, we only had 1 or 2 kind of cars, Trabant, you had to wait 13 years. 13 years. And when you say to somebody going in the car store and say, oh, I want to have a car. Oh, you have to wait half a year. Really? That is really a long distance, right? In the time. And that just reminds me, and that helped me to come back to the roots a little bit. This is the one thing. And the second thing is about, to reflect, to remind and say, okay, what finally can happen? What finally can happen? It doesn't, if you do today this business or that, when you have found your why, your core values, and you go in resonance with good people, they follow self and they will help you, or you can help them, and you have some things to do the things more easy together, and that is the point. And especially in this fast world, we have to take a look. When here on the daily running is 200 kilometers per hour, whatever, then you have to distance or the balance to that. So here speed, and then you have to be. I'm one of the most lazy person in private. Yeah. That's it.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
When my neighbor come and said, "Hey, can you cut the grass a little bit because this and this and that?" It's like, why I should do that? It is sunny. I relax in the sun, and that's it. If you have if you don't want to see it, so there is the machine. Here is the beer. I'm invite you. Give gas. So, but it is so, and that is why this podcast is named Priority Me and You, because when I have 100% energy, then I can give something, and that we lose as often or forgot often in the daily running. So we give, and then you take a look at home or whatever in your own healthness, in your own energy, and it's like, oh, low battery. What you do with a smartphone? Directly, low battery, you put it on the charger. What is about you?
Yeah.
And that we forgot, and that is remind me very well. So it is makes, to answer your question, it makes more than full sense.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So and that's it. So how you use when you say US, you attract the people, and it's about your why and so on and so on. So a little bit insights. When you help to find for your clients the why and consult them and so on, how long does it take that they find it? So in the average, what do you think, or what is your experience to that?
Well, what I find, Sebastian, is that I dictate the time, because when people come to me, I use my why and my cause and my purpose and my core values as also as a filtering process. So I find I would even volunteer to do some preparatory work with a proposed client, beforehand, because it's as beneficial to me as it is to them. Because if I take them on as a client and they're the wrong type of client, they are looking, for instance, for a quick fix. I will know after a session or maybe 2 sessions that no, these people are not a fit for me. It will not work. And it would be a waste of my time and, most importantly, their money, because we're just not a fit. So I dictate the time it takes before I take them on as a client. Now, it took me a while to get there, and you need strength in yourself, because when we're self-employed and we have a potential client, we're inclined to, oh yeah, come on in, yeah, sign the direct debit there and blah, 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 blah. It's only a quick fix. But if we choose the right client, and this goes for every walk, if we, especially in the services industry, If we choose the right client, we will have very high client retention, which is a very important part of business nowadays because the cost of sales is too high. The cost of sales is very high. The cost of acquisition of clients is very high. So when you get a good client, look after them. So we dictate this, the pace.
Yeah. Customer journey, it's not a one-way street, right? Definitively not. And I would close this episode before we jump in the next one, where we can take a look in the future, what we can expect by then in the next 20, 30, 50 years. We don't know. And so on. I will catch a little or do a little summary, because that is what I also see is about. It's not about to have the knowledge. You can get the knowledge everywhere in a one
Correct.
click, one button. You have to ask the right question, right? You have to take a look to the right keywords, I would say so. So we don't have the problem about knowledge. So, but when I ask sometimes people, oh, yes, here, I heard about it. Okay, the first step. Oh, good, you heard it. I said, you know it also? Yes, I know it. And then you said, when we implement, when you adapt something of that, that was the first aspect. Oh, no, I don't have time, or it is too much, or I know it better, or whatever. What are the excuses? And then the fourth step is the implementation. And there we have a gap. That's the point.
Yeah.
And I see so much people all surrounding what we also have a client in incentive last year. He paid in his life, I don't know, in the last years, 100, 200,000 euro in total for some seminars, but there was more or less like a blueprint of everyone. So, and it started, and this is the summary of this here. If you don't have your why, you can get a blueprint and the blueprint and the next, and you're only a copy of somebody or someone, right? You have to adapt it, take a look, test it for yourself. If it's good, okay. And if it's not, then you can take a look to another one. But the thing is, before you come implementation, you have to take a look on some games. And I compare it with some games also. If you play handball or soccer, it is you play with a ball. But in total, you have different rules about it, and you have to make a decision before what you makes fun, what attract you. So for all the sports guys under us.
Yeah, and there is one other thing I'd add to that, Sebastian, is that what I've found, especially since COVID, that someone told me, some client of mine that does SEO, search engine optimization and stuff, he said that there was an extra billion people came online the year after COVID. Now, that's a lot of people online. So what I would always say to our clients nowadays, because of your why, your cause, your purpose, you need to find your own lane out there. Because if you generalize yourself as all the others, you're never going to cut through the noise. So like we always say, it's never been easier to get your message out there, but it's never been harder to get someone to listen, because the noise is so vast and so great. And we can talk about that in a later episode. But it's key to finding your cause and your why and your purpose. I've had several clients, and I would imagine, Sebastian, you have as well. When we get our client to find their lane and find the business they are actually in, the success is tremendous. You know, I've had some clients that have trebled their business because they moved out into their own lane. So yeah, we can discuss that again.